Right, welcome to episode 2 of this Let's Play series. We are playing Distant Worlds 2. Finally, it's here. Well, not here. This is the preview version, so you guys currently can't get it, unfortunately. So, but I hope that this series will give you a bit of an insight as to what's coming and sort of how things are actually working. Who have we got there? That's building the Erd Radamar 6 mining station. This will actually then give us the Caslon supply back into Dazrakis, our capital. We are building at the moment a spaceport here as well, and slowly going to be sort of building things up over time. Now, you'll sort of see that the numbers, the cash flow will sort of switch around a fair bit. Now, I don't want to go overboard with the money that we actually have, and I might just talk a little bit about how money works in Distant Worlds 2. It's a little bit easier, I think. I'm finding it a bit easier anyway than Distant Worlds 1. Let's have a look. So we'll just go back into here. This is actually our Empire screen, and then we actually have like different summaries in through here as well. So we have like the cash on hand, which is what we're seeing back over this side. We have the cash flow, which we see over through this side as well. By the way, I can actually get to that screen by clicking on this and bring this one up. And then we actually have the bonus income. So most of what we get is really going to be this cash flow, which is at the moment is negative, and it's going to be negative for quite some time. And then we're going to be making things up with this one here. So this yearly bonus income from non-regular sources, example resource trading and tourism. So trading will become more and more important to us over time. We do want to get this cash flow up. So how does it all work? Well, we've got a state economy, and we also then have a private economy down through this side. And if we start with the state economy, so the state economy actually have our annual income, which mostly comes from colony taxes. Now, in version 1 of the game, this was actually okay to manage yourselves, but I do find there's a lot of nuance now with it in Distant Worlds 2, so I'd sort of suggest that you just keep the colony tax on automatic the whole time. You can tweak things a lot with this within the policy settings. So if I go to colonies and tax rates, they've got the tax rates in through here. I can actually make, there's a lot of keys not found just yet where they've sort of do the tooltips, but the tooltips are great in this game, I've got to say, but just there's still a few little areas that need to be fleshed out. Anyway, fully automated this area is probably the way I would keep that one. Stock levels at colonies and bases, I'll just keep that one fully automated as well. Colony population policies, I'll automate that, probably change that, I guess, over time. We then actually have planetary facility building. Now, with a lot of the building queues, you've actually got automated. You've then got like suggestions where the suggestions will pop up in the corner through here. Actually, what's this? Oh, foreign agent captured. Right, we'll talk about that in just a minute. We'll just dismiss that one for a second. We'll have a look at that in just a second. I can do this manually as well if I wanted to sort of build them without any interruptions, or I can actually have suggest and execute. So advisors will make suggestions that will automatically be implemented after waiting a short period for your approval. So and I think this is what was happening last time, where I was starting to build different things, because I do have a few of the settings like this. But I'll do this one for facility buildings because I generally will be wanting to get those. Now, I have turned off the funding levels. I've made that manual in the when I was playing earlier. I might automate. Actually, no, I'll leave it off for now. This is one that you probably will be wanting to flick around a little bit. It's an easy one to sort of manage. If we now go back, now what else is there? We've got advisors and automation. There's so much in here, like colonisation, suggest and execute. I'll just keep the suggestion on there. Colony facilities, I'll suggest and execute. Ship construction, I'll leave that one off. Base construction, I'll leave that one on. Yeah, I'll leave all those on. There's so much you can do through here. Really so much. It is awesome. Anyway, we'll leave all that where that is. You can also go to preset configurations, by the way, which is quite fun. What you can do is actually go rule in absence and turn everything on by full, and then just basically let the game run. So you can sort of go and sleep for the night and see what actually came back from there. So we'll just leave it basically on where that is. It's not the default. I have changed a few little settings, so I'll just keep it on custom. But you can change this to whatever your playstyle is. It's very, very nice. Very, very well done. Now, we have our leader, of course. So Zadri does have a few little bonuses. Actually, he's a negative there for ship maintenance, so he's actually costing us a little bit more at this stage. He will get better over time. We have our government, which is the military dictatorship. We can actually compare that with other things. Like, for example, do we want to go to feudalism? You know, would that be worthwhile? What do we get? What's the bonus we get from that? Not much, to be honest. I think it's... What else? We get less mining rate if we go across there, and that's mining's going to be very important. We get better tourism, but that's about it, really. A little bit of ship maintenance savings as well if we go to feudalism, but it's not one that we want to worry about. Picking up more resources back in through this side. Maintenance back over here. This is the actual maintenance we have for our state ships. So we have a certain amount that we then pay for. We've got 7 ships that we're paying maintenance on, 5 exploration ships, 1 constructor, and 1 small spaceport, which is costing us a fair bit, 2,240. There should be a facility there. I'm not seeing the facility. Anyway, that's that's okay. Then we have the private sector as well, which then they'll just pay for their own. So this is essentially their own maintenance. We don't pay for that. So how does that then work? If we have a look across at the economy screen, we have our colony tax, which is just sort of coming off the actual planet itself. Now, taxation is it's a bit of a dark art through here, so I would just leave that as the same on by default. And we don't actually have any tributes that we're getting. We haven't taken anyone over just yet. Now, this is now complete, the small spaceport. We'll dismiss that. That's good. But you can see we're now in the positive with our cash flow. I'll talk a little bit about how that one does work. We've then got annual expenses. And so at the moment, our expenses are under our taxation. So it's only taxation we're looking at through here and the expenses, and that then gives us the cash flow, which will then appear over through here. So 165 is how that one does work. 151, it's 151. So that's the cash flow where we have things that we can control. That's not going to change much, the colony tax, and then the other things we can control, which is the maintenance. So that's that sort of income. We then have annual bonus income as well. Now, at the moment, we have nothing coming in, but as we start to get more and more resources, the private sector will then invest more and more into getting freighters or mining ships or whatever else we actually might need. So this will then change as well. Like previously, we had 26,228. They will employ our shipyards to build them their ships, and then they will pay us for that. And this is how we're getting most of this money back over through here. So the private economy is something we have no control over. They've got a lot of money in reserve, so cash in the private sector of your empire, and the annual income in through there. So private sector colony revenue, they're actually, as long as you want to make sure that they are actually working in a positive way. And at the moment, plus 20,000 cash flow, that's good stuff. So what they do, the annual expenses that they actually have, they've got private ship maintenance, the maintenance cost for privately run ships, colony taxes, this is what they pay to us. So the private sector pays us this amount, and private fuel as well. So fuel costs for privately owned ships in your empire. This should be paid to us as well, because we are controlling this through the planet, and which gives them a different total down through here. But that's so some of this will be sort of like bonus income. I mean, shipbuilding is really the main thing that we're going to be sort of doing with that one. And then as we start to meet other factions, we'll then get more and more coming back through this way as well. So anyway, that's the sector. We can actually also change our funding levels, where we can change this up and down. At the moment, this is set to manual. And what I might do is, the way it sort of works, I can have a reserve amount of income floating around. What I really want, though, is I want excess, and the excess will sort of stem if I've got positive cash flow. Ultimately, I'll end up with excess amounts in through here, and then this will give me a bonus to colony growth and research. So that will actually help a little bit with getting this, like any research that we need, under control. So we do want to have, we want to be in the black. We don't want to be in the red. Particularly with cash flow, to get this bonus. This is quite important. So you don't have to spend everything. You can actually sort of just let things sort of develop, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to slowly let the everything sort of build itself up. You can see we've got the mining now working in this way. This mining station is fully under control. Everything is now normal, and we are now getting a lot of Caslon on board, and we should start to see freighters now sort of starting to sort of visit this particular location. Now, are we seeing his freighters hovering around? They're just not quite leaving just yet. Anyway, that's I press control and drag that around. I can then sort of go to the different ships. Construction ship is just sitting back there, got nothing to do. So no mission at this point in time. Just grab the other one as well. They've got a small freighter. So transporting cargo from Erd Radamar 6 to Daz Rakis. Now, I don't know why it's not doing anything. It should be going in and picking stuff up, but it's not. It will eventually. Anyway, I'll just let that do its own thing. So anyway, that's the economy in a bit of a nutshell without going into too much detail. Spies. Let's have a look at the spies that we actually have. So we have in our prisoners, we actually have a Nerd Rakarid, a spy, so imprisoned by Daz Rakis cartel. It's pretty bad, actually. This one is doesn't have a lot of skill sets. That's why we found it so easy. I think what we do is, so it came about in 2754, so the year before. So it appears at Torthace. So Torthace is its home planet. So we've sort of we've interrogated it and got that information. Utrate is a double agent, so it actually has come across, and that's when we must have caught it. No, that would have been, no, we would have caught it since then. Intelligence, actually no, that's when the mission failure occurred. Utrate double agent. So, and that's what's made it so that it really can't be spotted. It can be easily spotted. Now, what we can do is we can do a few different things. We can try to recruit it, so pay money for a chance to recruit Sarik Rostov into your empire. That would cost 1,200. So we can pay that if we wanted to. I don't think we want to, so I think we'll just execute him. I think we'll actually get aggressive with these guys because they're not going to play nicely. I don't want them having more and more spies floating around the place. So execute. Bang, gone. He is gone from our prisoners. Our spies. We've got one spy. I do want to find out more information about who's around us. I can cancel this mission, but he was the one who captured that one. I'll probably wait until I've got 2 spies. 63 is not great. It's not bad. I think I'll just wait. I'll just we won't assign that mission. So we'll we'll just leave that one where that is. Counterintelligence against all empires. Yep, assign mission until cancelled, basically. So that's the default position. We'll just leave him there until we get another spy, and then we'll sort of send them out. We should get another spy fairly soon, I would think. So, actually, what are we looking at here? This is the Erd-Ranamar 6 station, and we can see that there's now cargo freighters moving around. These are independents. Okay, we've got an independent freighter. Now, we don't know where this one's come from. This is a light freighter, also independent. Different designs. Okay, we've got a light freighter there, and we have a light freighter over here, cargo freighter. Now, these could be pirates. They could also be independents, but I'm assuming that they will actually be independents. The pirates no longer help like they used to in Distant Worlds 1. So I'm assuming there must be some independent factions around. We're not going to know where they're from just yet. Yeah, we're not sure of anything. So let's have a bit of a look and see if we've got any clue. No, we don't know anything. One thing we are aware of is we are now seeing different things out through here. We've got the main sequence star with an unknown ship floating around through here. We have got navigators now going out to the various sectors to start to do some research, to start searching what's around the place. So we're going to we're finding resources in here, for example. Is that another? No, that's a rocky ice moon. So our explorers will just start to sort of have a look around the local area, and as we get to each system, we'll then find out if it's inside our area of influence or not, and eventually we'll come across the other empires that they know where we are. We don't know where they are, but we will ultimately be more powerful than them in the short term. So anyway, that's all fine where that actually is. Let's just go back. So this will change a little bit over time. There's a monster back over here, a space monster in there. There is actually something in here. Now this is interesting. There's a planet here. And that's a pirate base. There we are. Okay, so one of those was a pirate ship. Now, will we see that? It's interesting. Where is it? That's a mining ship. I've lost sight of those other... Oh, there they go. Cargo freighter. This one is actually... this one is taking money out of our system. So it's basically transporting cargo from Erd-Ranamar 6 to Dazrakis. So it's actually, even though it's not one of that we control, it's an independent ship, it is actually supporting us. We've got our own ship in through here, another cargo freighter, bringing Krypton and Argon. This one is bringing actually Krypton and Argon as well. That one's only Argon as well. Where's the Krypton? Who's actually got... Sorry, who's got the Caslon? Now there may be reserves of Caslon that sort of at these locations. I think I'll sort of let that one go. Look, we will end up with a lot of Caslon back at this particular location. We do have a lot of resource shortages. We do want to get a lot more Caslon coming in, as you can sort of see through there. We've only got the one source. So we've got fuel resource shortages, a lot of them. We don't have anything in reserve there, so there's no ships wanting the resource at this stage, but we do want to have more on the planet. Aculon, argon, carbonite, cuprica, and emeros crystals are all things that we do want to get. In fact, if I click on that one, I can then sort of keep this one open and have a bit of a scroll down and sort of see the areas where, if it's green, it means we've got more than what we need. And some of these we won't really need at all at this stage. The Mebnar we're going to need a lot of. Steel we're going to need a lot of as well through here. So this is show all resources. I can show show unused resources. So I can sort of flick between these and sort of pick them up. So we've got what's on hand, what we need to, the levels that we want to be using to maintain them. So in reserve. So this is the amount of this resource that is reserved for construction and other uses at this location. Now, at this stage, we're not reserving anything because we don't really have constructors. We are mining different locations, so we are starting to build like Necros stone and also Oscillia. So it's being mined. Actually, that's being mined here at Arrakis. So that's actually just letting us know that that's actually at this particular location. We do have a luxury in there as well, the Nataran incense. So anyway, that's sort of working. We've got like one argon area built. We need to get Aculon. We need to get a lot of these things. We've got 0. But that will take time because we need to slowly build up our cash flow and slowly build up our empire. But there's no rush with that. It will just do its own thing, and that will be fine. I want to see where these things, where and when they end up moving off somewhere else. We should be building, actually, when we're looking at this. We should have a bit of a build queue on here. We're not building anything there. Yeah, nothing being built here at all, which is a bit surprising. Now, I don't really want to be building my own stuff because I don't really have the cash flow for it, so I'm just going to leave that one alone and just wait for something to happen. Let's just go back and just press the Shift Q. Just go back to north so that at least we're looking at the same screen. Okay, that's all fine where that is. And so eventually we will actually be scouting and searching. This is a nice little area. Discovered new resources. This is cuprica. Okay, cool. Dismiss. So eventually they'll ask us if we want to be building mining stations back in through there. Got more asteroid belts back that way. Any sandy moon, a desert savanna planet. We may be able to settle that one eventually. I don't think we know anything about that one. No, it's unknown at this stage. Continental, rocky silicon planets, rocky ice, sandy desert. That's going to be a good one for us as well. Yaris 4. This is quality of 25%, colonization suitability of 0. Now we have a -5 for Mortallans, so I probably won't take that one on. It's probably not one that we really need to get. Sandy desert moon, as I say, we don't know that one at all. I can colonize these. It's just, actually no, I can't. I can't do that one just yet. We will be looking for other colonies, other potential ways that we can then sort of move out into the greater void, the greater area. In fact, if we have a look at the colonies, at the moment we then have one satisfied colony. They're not super happy. If we then have a look back down through this, so this is the actual colonies that we actually have. We have the new colonies. We don't have any of those. Colony ships. We don't have any. Planetary facilities. This is the facilities we actually have on Dazrakis. And then artifacts if we had any of those. But in this case, there's really nothing to see. So we'll just sort of keep that one where that is. And move that one through. Actually, that was a bit different. Different graphic, wasn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, that's funny that it switched graphics between saves. It's actually the ancient Mortallan troopship ruins has not kept the reference that it should have kept for the artifact. Anyway, we'll leave. Oh, not the artifact, but the ruins. So we'll just watch and watch and see what happens in through here. I am interested to find out what the what pirate group this actually is. I'm pretty sure that is a pirate group that is floating around just right in here. I think we get to a point where we can sort of just make out the shape. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. The fact that it's floating around there, I would assume that that's. Actually, where is that one? Unknown planet, yeah, unknown planet there. Could be anything, but it's funny that it is there. it's worth investigating. There we go. Now this one is, see where this one goes. So we've got long-range scanners out to this range. This is why we can see these things. So we can sort of watch what it does, and it will then hit the range. So I might just press the T key. So we're looking sort of straight down. This will then allow us to just line it up. Looks like it's there, doesn't it? Looks like it's there. Now, is that inside the range? No, it's just outside. There's not much else out past that. I mean, it may be going out to here, but I think it's going to be going to a system over this side. Potentially pirates. Could be an independent colony as well. It will be interesting to find out. Just go back and press B again, just go back to the same angle, and we'll just watch with interest, but we're not going to see that, unfortunately, when it hits the edge. Okay, so we do need to build this one. This is good. This is really good, actually. We'll assign that one. And that one's also heading off in that same direction. That's interesting. They're both cargo haulers. And then it will disappear from view. Yeah, it's definitely heading there. And this is as well. Yep, so it's now off the radar. Now I could take over one of these guys just to have a bit of a look and see what's going on with that. Do I want to do that one? I've got 5 of them. I've got one exploring that system, and I've still got a couple back at home. I'll let them just do what they're doing, I think. Build ships, 3 construction ships. This is good for me now. I do want to do this, so we will build those ships. I need to get more constructors just to start building things up. This one's going to disappear as well, but there's something in here. Now we've got a mining ship going off to mine glue hair back in through this side in the Carouse system. Have a bit of a look at this one. So we've got a lot to look at in here. New spy. Here we go. We've got our second spy now. So what we'll do is we'll dismiss the message, and we'll just pause that for 1 second. Just go across to characters with our spies. I don't think we're going to know any of their traits just yet. Oh, actually, that's interesting. Still a territory map of the Harkonish Federation. Yeah, it will be completed in a year's time. It's 100%. Well, actually, it's already doing that one. It's come on board and decided to take it on. Fine. At 100% chance, that's very, very good. I don't think it's fully 100%. In that case, I'll leave this one on counterintelligence. And we'll eventually find things for them to do, but if we can then start to locate where things are. Now, one of the things that's different with the game than what it used to be is that when we have a look back at this area, this is showing our territory. So technically, our territory map includes the territory that we know of inside this area that we sort of contain. In the old game, this was represented by a circle. But the circle, if we actually have control over an area, it actually then uses almost like the sector around a planet to, like it splits the difference between planets to sort of figure out where things are. As we explore further afield, we'll then find out more and more about what's around us. Now, actually, I'll unpause. Sorry, I just want to see that one go off the radar as well. And so we may have an area like this that we control. We don't know. And if it was like in Distant Worlds 1, we'd have a circular area like this. They would have a circular area like that. Where it crosses over, now it pushes back on these little borders. And it's really quite a nice way of doing it. It's much nicer than the circles. So it's not sectors that we have to use for any sort of control other than show ownership. That's all it does. It just denotes ownership. Nothing else. Our cash flow is now going into the negative, which means that we're not going to get any bonuses to our science. Now, we're probably not going to have much with science anyway. We really are focused on building up the resources and essentially getting our money under control. There's another mining ship now heading off over there, and here we go. We've got another unknown ship coming into the range. Just press the T key. Where did it come from? And another one. Now, could they both, if we triangulate that, it's looking like it could be there. It could be even further afield than that. Unknown ship. It's a pirate ship by the looks. Unknown ship. So we're going to have pirates arriving. Let's just see who they are and what they want. Yeah, pirate. It's a pirate ship in through here. So we're now seeing that this is a frigate. This is the Worthy Downfall. And it's got a... we're going to know a little bit about this one. So this is actually a size 487 frigate. It's got a strength of 404, which is actually fairly high. It's got one assault pod, one Sentinel multi-beam defense, an ion bomb, and a concussion missile, medium-sized concussion missile. And if I click on that and then hover over this, we can then sort of see what actually happens. So the ion is going to disable different weaponry and point defense. I don't really have standard weaponry. It's sort of like this is not considered standard. Well, the concussion missile should be. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do and what they've got. So anyway, that's the Tekin Authority. There we go. We're going to have some Tekins that we need to destroy and get rid of. Now they've got their hull is only at 38%. They've taken one of theirs has been destroyed. They've come out of a fight somewhere. Now, one of the interesting things also with our system is if I just press B again. Actually, if I look at that one there, this ship was also coming. It's coming from back out here somewhere. It could be that was their home system. If we have a quick look at the system that we actually have in through here, and look, I'll just unpause for now. All of our things do actually have some defense. We've got like a little bit of we've got a lance missile and a rail gun. So because we've got like high levels of high levels of research, we're actually going to be able to defend ourselves pretty damn well, even with these like stations and things. I think even our cargo freighters have even got like concussion missiles. So we're not a complete pushover. You know, like we don't have to rush getting troops to sort of try to manage what this thing's going to be doing. So we will arrive very, very soon. Where's it going? Is it bypassing us entirely? It looks like it is. Okay, that's just skimmed straight past us. And it's moving out to here, potentially. Is it going there? Could that have a base on it? Like, we won't know about the bases until we get pretty close. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Asteroid belt. All right, here we go. So we actually now have an instance where we now need to start to negotiate. Now, the Tekin Authority. We've encountered a new pirate faction in the Kerberos system, the Tekin Authority. This pirate faction is predominantly composed of Tekins. The Tekin are naturally very hostile towards us. They are unlikely to be useful allies. Initial communications with the Tekins have been catastrophically bad. A poor translation of our standard greeting in their language mistakenly invited the Tekins to become our slaves. Despite our subsequent reassurances, they have taken great offence. Now, the pirates will tend to be negative in what they sort of do. They used to have like smugglers, but we don't see that anymore. Now, that will probably change over time with the game, but at this stage, that's certainly the last time I actually looked at the beta version of the game, it didn't actually have that, so I'm assuming that's still the case. And they're wanting to actually get us to pay protection money. We don't need it, to be honest, because of the high tech that we actually have. So this is something we can reject the deal. I just dismiss that for a second and then just pause while we're here. So this is their ship, and we'll have a bit of a look at this one. And this has taken damage. Look at the damage it's got. So they're not really in a position to bargain with us. So what we'll do is we'll just go and reject the deal, and that will then make them even more angry, and we'll just say goodbye. And so this is the first pirate faction we've now come across, the Tekin Authority. This is interesting because we now have a few different things we can then go and do. Now, they've actually got the Akdaran ascendancy. They're displeased with them. They know them. So that's a relationship that they actually have, and they don't like us as well. We'll just leave them alone for a second, and we'll have a bit of a look and see what they've got in terms of their actual ship. So their ship was in here. We've sort of missed sight of it now. I can't see where it is, where it's got to. I should have kept it there. I think it's now that it's in the asteroid belt, we've now lost sight. And there will be a base in here, I would think. I'm assuming that this hasn't been, unexplored. This will be explored over time. New construction ship completed, that's fine. Now, the ship here will fairly soon get past all of this stuff and then go across and have a bit of a look at that one. Now, that's interesting because there's no Caslon in this system. So if they are hiding in there, that will be an interesting outcome. Now the other one is still actually moving now. Actually, is that the same one maybe? Yeah, this, I think these may be, they could be anything really, they could be anything. I'll just let the exploration ships, we don't really have enough money at this stage to really sort of develop our systems anything beyond what we actually have. So I think that they may have been, this may be their home base and they were raiding over here. Again, in Distant Worlds 1, you used to know pretty much as soon as you went into a system, but now things can be hidden until you really end up on top of them. We are still seeing these guys, they're just still inside our range. So if we sort of zoom in, we will be cognizant of a couple of different, they've got a couple of ships there. I think that just went in for repairs. I think this is the pirate base. I think that's the pirate base for the Teekans, which would then make sense with the other ship coming back over this way. So I think that they went raiding. I don't know why they went there. There may still be something in there, but then they came back this side. As I say, I'm sort of interested to go and get myself an explorer and just have a quick look. Now, our explorer ships are also able to protect themselves to a degree, and probably to be okay against pirates. This one is still exploring this particular system. There's a lot of asteroids for it to have a look at, and it's got a strength of 61, so it's got concussion missiles as well. So it can look after itself to a small amount. We'll have a look at that once we sort of meet them officially, which won't be too far off. More coming through. Let's have a look. What are they aiming at? Yeah, they seem to be sort of flying through the side. It's certainly a main area. Now we've got a group of ships needing to be built. 2 escorts, which I'm happy with, and 1 construction ship. I'll just do this automatically, that's fine. And we have a general, a new general has appeared. So we'll dismiss that. Let's have a quick look and see. I didn't see the message about the spies. That one should be back. Oh, it's still trying to steal the map. So 2757 09 16. So we've still got half a year. Yeah, that's okay. We're not going to see the other spy at this point in time. Yeah, they're off doing their things. New construction ship completed. The leaders as well, I'll just leave them there. I love the highlighting. When you're trying to find things, it's now very, very easy. Another ship now coming back in. Now this one's coming in from this angle over here. I really do need to go and get an explorer. That's a construction ship going off to construct something back over this side. And we've got more ships now. There's a lot of activity now around us. Just missed that one as well. I think as soon as we can, we'll go and build ourselves another explorer. Now, as far as this one here is just on its own, I probably will set this one to not be automated. So I'm just going to go manually controlled. Actually, no, I'll go it fully automated with it's only an escort. Now, is this just going to be another transport? I'm guessing it will be. Yeah, actually it is. It's just a cargo freighter. It's probably the same one from before. Just coming into to transport more Caslon. So they will go and possibly buy Caslon from here to take back to the pirate base. Again, if we have a bit of a look at this one, it does look like a pirate ship, just with the look of it. Just that's the sort of look of the pirates. But there may be independent colonies around the place as well. Yeah, it looks like they're definitely going into that location. Interesting. This is all stuff that we want to be looking at. So I just want this to finish exploring this Yaris system before we do much else. See if there's much else that we've actually building at this point in time. Yeah, we're now building the escort, the medium freighter, and a mining ship. That's fine where that is. And we're building a few extra things: construction ship, small freighter, mining ship down through there, mining ship. I might just go and build myself now another. Actually, we're missing a few different things for this. These were disabled because of missing resources. So this is actually one of the problems that we're going to have. We're missing carbonite and polymer. So I can't actually queue anything else at this point in time. So do we know where that is? Let's have a look and see. What's the time? Actually, I'm over time. We'll have a look at it in the next episode. So we'll have a bit of a look at the resources that we're aware of and what we need to then be actioning. Thanks for watching. I will catch you then.